Sports Fest Rick Horrow inside the $1.3 trillion business of sports. You're on the record with a look ahead to 2026. What are the top 15 issues we ought to look at that shape the industry over time? 15 to 1. So buckle up, here we go. Number 15, pro sports team valuations poised to keep climbing in 2026. $6.1 billion valuation, the Celtics, $10 billion valuation, the Lakers, 13.2% annualized growth rate with North American sports leagues year over year. Obviously, the Giants and Niners looking, because of their small equity pieces that are being sold, valued way more than $8 to $10 billion. Stable media economics, strong investor demand, scarcity to supply, all conspire to make this a hell of an investment if you got the money. That's number 15. Number 14, prediction markets and the financialization of sports data in 2026. $1.8 trillion global sports betting handle. 2025, the league's getting even bigger. $120 billion in annual handle from sports books. So both of those are a perfect storm. But with the rising liquidity, more advanced analytics, and expanding regulatory frameworks, 2026 set to accelerate the convergence of sports betting, real-time data, and financial market structure. Look for that to proliferate. Number 14. Number 13, luxury and lifestyle brands deepen investment in mainstream sports. The global audience of Formula One, 1.5 billion cumulative viewers, means that you can integrate lifestyle, travel, product, not only to Gen Z consumers, but everyone else. The cultural convergence and rising global visibility, including other luxury brands, means this is a viable area from which to build. Number 13. Number 12, fan experience becomes central to sports tourism and event strategy in 2026. By the way, 40% of sports fans worldwide consider travel an essential part of how they consume major events, a trend amplified by mega events such as the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The World Cup alone, hundreds of millions of dollars in incremental tourism. We know that. Number 12. Number 11, expansion of new and alternative sports leagues in 2026. The new Continental Football League launching to target medium-sized U.S. markets. Early planning documents outlining a structure of 8 to 12 teams, a schedule designed to avoid direct overlap with the NFL. We've seen it before, but at the same time, the existing calendar priorities, UFL, Big Three, and multiple events, the funding venture market exceeds $2 billion annually, with a lot of dollars going toward this. And rising investment and flexible media strategies make 2026 a pivotal testing ground for alternative sports leagues. That's number 11. Number 10, short-form video redefines sports content, delivering 2.5 times engagement through AI-powered moments in 2026. Short-form video dominates sports consumption, including YouTube Shorts, 2.5 times engagement than long-form, and 66% of marketers ranking it as the top format. The clip's about 1:20, so I better talk fast. But that's the average of what is happening today, and more of that will continue. Number 10. Number 9, structural shifts in college sports media and NIL regulation. It started after House and the settlement with $20.5 million per year required to be spent per team at school, but at the end of the day, the budgets are routinely exceeding $1 billion total when you look at D1 and even more. As compensation frameworks expand and governance emerges and evolves, 2026 a defining year in how college sports deals with this issue. That's number 9. Number 8, global sports sponsorship growth, $115 billion in 2026. 60% of the sponsors prioritize digital engagement metrics alongside traditional visibility measures together. And with commercial sponsorship expanding faster than most other revenues categories, 2026 will reinforce commercial partnerships as a foundational pillar of the global sports economy. That's number 6. Number 8. Number 7, media fragmentation. Sports TV viewership has gone down 15% or so in the last 3 years, prompting leagues to diversify partners and carve rights into smaller, platform-specific packages. The media rights market, however, exceeds $60 billion in 2026. What does that mean? Apple, Netflix, Paramount Plus, Amazon, others leading the creative market. Revenue stability, short form, long-term audience reach, that's the trade-off in an increasingly fragmented distribution environment. That's number 7. Number 6, commercial expansion of women's sports in 2026. The $2.35 billion global revenue in 2026, according to Deloitte study in women's sports, expected to exceed $500 million annually in media rights alone. Sponsorship spending in women's sports projected to grow 20% year over year. And at the end of the day, accelerating revenue, surging attendance, rising media valuations, women's sports enters 2026 as one of the fastest growing and most commercially dynamic sectors in the global sports industry. That's number 6. Number 5, NFL ESPN integration and equity transition outlook for 2026. The 10% equity stake with ESPN and the NFL means digital distribution rights. NFL gets some creativity and distribution. ESPN gets ownership, equity, and even more credibility. The integration here creates a template that may involve other partners in the media industry and leagues in 2026 and beyond. That's number 5. Number 4, UFC, $7.7 billion media rights deal with Paramount Plus. 42 UFC events annually, 12 pay-per-view cards, doubling the UFC prior domestic media revenue market. UFC move to Paramount represents a structural transformation for combat sports, meaning the subscription-anchored media model, revenue model, the largest media contract in UFC history. That's number 4. Number 3, EA Sports. Well, esports really significant. $3.25 billion in revenue in 2026. Companies like Twitch and others are taking advantage of it, where 76% of their sports fans already prioritize over traditional sports fans. And when you look at the media market for esports, look no further than the NBA and their relationships. 318 million dedicated fans, 322.7 million occasional viewers, 640 million fans taking advantage of esports. And look at the franchises involved: Celtics, Lakers, Pistons, Grizzlies, and the like. It means a strong combination as we move forward. Esports continues to dominate the headlines in 2026. Number 3. Number 2, 2026 Winter Olympics. $13 to $15 billion in total spending. IOC reduces the cost, roughly $1.7 billion budget with expectations of 2.5 to 3 million spectators. The ice issue dominates the hockey headlines. Will it be ready? Will it not? NBC, a strong commercial stake, already promoting the games, as you know, and the Super Bowl, Olympic, NBA block, prolific for the NBC world. Whether the Milan Cortina Games establish a cost-contained multi-city Winter Olympics that can deliver both competitive excellence and commercial returns remain to be seen. That's number 2. And number 1, I'll tell you one that delivers expectations and commercial returns. The 2026 World Cup, number 1 on everybody's list. U.S., Mexico, Canada, the largest and most commercially significant addition in the tournament's history. 48 teams, 104 matches, and anticipated revenue of over 6.5 million fans. FIFA projects the event will generate $14 billion in total revenue. communities like New York, New Jersey alone, a $3.3 billion boost, and the addition will reach more viewers and more venues and more countries than ever before. Kick to women's sports in the Women's World Cup, kick to the MLS, but more important, it is the largest event by far staged on U.S. soil with Canada and Mexico, a significant partnership. That's number one. Clearly the top 15 issues in the sports business for 2026. Have an incredible year. Thank Khaled Kazire for putting this together for us. And obviously, as we move forward, you're on the record for a bountiful and productive 2026. Happy New Year, Sports Professor Rick Horrow.